Mikel Arteta was out in his press conference talking about probably the standout moment from his team sheet selection yesterday, which was, of course, going with David Raya in goal instead of Aaron Ramsdale. He says, I'm a really young manager and I've only been in the job for 3.5 years, and I have a few regrets in what we have done. One of them is that on two occasions, I felt after 60 minutes and 85 minutes in two games in this period to change the keeper in that moment, and I didn't do it. This is interesting stuff. I'd never really heard of a manager speaking about trying to change his goalkeeper in game in the Premier League in the past before. Arteta claims he wanted to do it in the past, and this is why we have rotating goalkeepers, it appears, now at Arsenal. Are you buying this, or is David Raya the number one right now?
I'm not too sure. It's hard to tell. There's obviously an awful lot of games coming up for Arsenal with the Champions League coming up, the cup games coming up, but rotation, it's the one position on the pitch you don't really want rotation. You want your goalkeeper to be a set figure. And look, if Ramsdale's not playing well, then by all means you drop him, because David Ray is a very, very good goalkeeper. But he must have seen something on the training ground. If you're a manager and you see something after 65 minutes, whether it's the goalkeeper, the centre half, the striker, if you're not happy with him, you take him off. So maybe he's seen something in the last couple of games that's just grating on him, and he's thinking, right, the next time I get a chance to put Ray in, I'm going to put it in.
One of the big things is that you can't take your goalkeeper off because you're going to ruin his confidence. But every other player gets taken off at various stages in their career. Are goalkeepers so flimsy in terms of confidence, so fragile as human beings that they can't withstand like the same rules of the game that everybody else? Why is it different?
I don't know. I think notoriously over the years, your goalkeeper's been set in stone, and it's just the way it's always been. You've had a number one and a number two, and they go off and train, and the number one knows who they are, the number two knows who they are, and the number one might come out, do a little bit of whatever he wants, catching shot practice, and then he goes in, and the number two gets worked really, really hard. So that's why there's always been a different, like, number one is number one, and number two goes in and joins in all the games. The number one gets protected. But look, I've heard Mikel Arteta talk about this, and he wants rotation. He wants, competitive space all over the pitch. He wants the goalkeepers to be competitive as well. So look, I don't think there's an awful lot between the two goalkeepers, so I wouldn't be annoyed either way. I think David Ray is probably a little bit better of a ball player, which is crazy to say about a goalkeeper, isn't it? But I think that actually comes into managers thinking now. What do you like playing out from the back? You see Jordan Pickford yesterday just booms one over the Arsenal the back line, and Mikalenko nearly gets in. So goalkeepers are a big, big part of what people do now, and I don't think there's an awful lot between them. I don't think he's going to lose any Arsenal fans playing one or the other there.